I hate to break it to you, but Europe is the source of every evil. If you're not convinced, let me read the numbers for you so you could gain a perspective. When European colonizers discovered America, how do you discover a continent that was home to 80 million native Indians? When European colonizers invaded, occupied, and attempted to colonize America, they killed 56 million native Indians. That is close to 90% of the original population of the people, the original people of America. 56 million. When Europeans colonized Australia, they annihilated 90% of the Aboriginal people living in Australia. In World War I, 40 million people were killed by Europeans. In World War II, 80 million people were killed by Europeans. During the slave trade, European traders, European colonizers enslaved 12 million Africans, 2.5 million of which were died during the harsh and brutal voyage to the Americas. King Leopold of Belgium killed 10 million Africans in the Congo alone. 1.7 million people were killed during the European Crusades to invade Jerusalem, the holy city. 3.8 million people were killed during the Vietnam War by the Americans, which are originally Europeans. 250,000, that is 250,000 civilians were killed by Americans, which are originally Europeans, of course, when they dropped 2 bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki in Japan. 3 million Algerians were killed by the French during the French occupation of Algeria. 3 million Muslim Algerians were killed in Algeria during the French occupation of Algeria. 750,000 Muslims were slaughtered and killed in cold blood in Libya by the Italians when they occupied Libya. 4.5 million Muslims were killed by the US during their unjustified war against different Muslim countries from the Middle Eastern region. Europeans have killed more people than the flood of Noah. Europeans have killed more people than natural disasters. Europeans have killed more innocent people from all around the world than anything else and anyone else. And then they come and they call every single nation and every single resistance, lawful resistance from every single nation that has fought back against their tyranny, against their occupation, against their oppression, and against their invasion, and against their attempt to enslave these people. They call these resistant movements and lawful resistant people terrorists, barbarians. The native Indians were called barbarians. The same goes for the Aboriginals of Australia. And the same goes in South Africa, by the way, which I forgot to mention. And by the way, Israel killed 1 million Palestinians since 1947. 1 million Palestinians were killed by the European Zionists who came from Europe to occupy Palestine. And they made 7 million Palestinians refugees outside Palestine, and there are 7 million Palestinian refugees still living in Palestine today, 2.4 million of which live in Gaza. And by the way, all 2.4 million Palestinians living in Gaza are actually refugees who have been displaced from different parts of Palestine, during the Israeli genocidal war and occupation that has lasted for 76 years. And then they dare call the Hamas resistant movement, the lawful resistant movement, Hamas, terrorist. They have called every single resistant movement all around the world terrorists, rebellions, barbarians, fanatics, Islamists, extremists, just because they fought back against the tyranny and oppression of these colonizing countries, these Western colonizing countries who attempted to colonize their countries, invade their countries, occupy their countries, exploit their resources, enslave the nation of these countries. Every time we fight back against their tyranny and oppression, we are called terrorists, we are called fanatics, we are called Islamists, we are called barbarians, because we want to live the same way they live. We want to liberate our country. We want to liberate our families from the shackles of enslavement of the violent, aggressive occupier. It is shameful, really, because millions of Americans and Europeans, believe the crap that is told on Zionist media in America and Europe, and they continue to push their agenda and spread their lies, as if Muslims do not have the right to exist, as if other nations do not have the right to exist. Only Europeans have the right to exist. And this derives from their hateful, racist, discriminative mentality, which they have adopted from their Bible, by the way. If you read the Bible, you'll understand that this is not a book from God. It has enticed violence. It has enticed racism. It has encouraged these Zionist Europeans to continue to enslave other nations, to continue to belittle other nations of different races, different colors, different religions. Read the Bible, you'll understand this is the source of their evil, and it's not because it's from God. The Bible is not from God. The Bible is a man-made written book, written by the same exact people who are occupying nations, who are enslaving people, who are committing genocide and committing ethnic cleansing against people from different parts of the world, and not just Palestine. Please spread the video. Let people know the numbers. Let people understand. Let people gain perspective.